Hey listener, it's Gabby the Real Estate Bae, and before you go any further with the episode, I want to personally invite you to join us for the Financial Diet. This diet is July 7th through August 5th. Now, it's a 21-day coaching cohort for serious high earners who are tired of wondering, where is all my money going? You have the income, you have the raises, you may even have the credit score, and on paper, you should be ready to invest. Yet when you look at the mindset, the financial habits, and the budgeting, and even the savings account, those things are not aligned with the next season. I heard the Lord say that in order to move into what is promised to you, you must shed what you no longer need. The Financial Diet is for 21 days, and I'm personally inviting you to join us. All you have to do is click on this episode's show notes, and I'll see you in the Financial Diet. Remember, we start July 7th, 2026. See you soon.
My lesson was, you gave this to God. You prayed about it. You gave it to God already. I remember saying to God, I was like, Lord, if this is not for me, if this is not the right time, don't allow this to work out. Wow. Simple as that. I did that. That's exactly what I said. Okay, Lord, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move forward with this. So, my credit union wasn't giving me all the access to my home equity, right?
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. Right then and there, I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this. There was some discouragement there. Like, oh gosh, I got to go through another process of another home equity. Like, it just seemed like too much work. Okay, now I got to close this out and go with another one. I'm like, this is going to be too much. This may not work. It was just listen to God. What did he say? You gave it to him already. Mm-hmm. It's working out smooth. This is just another option. Don't think of it as, this is not going to work out. I mean, that was probably my biggest lesson. Focus on what God said. If he's allowing this to happen, let it happen. Stop thinking that it's going to be a perfect process.
Welcome to Keys to Your First Rental, the private podcast designed exclusively for soon-to-be real estate investors. If you've dreamt of owning rental properties, you're in the right place. Join Gabby as she sits down with investor clients who share how the Real Estate Bae Agency has taken them from confused to closed. From finding the perfect location, to analyzing rental markets, to securing financing and placing tenants. We equip clients with tools and strategies to make their real estate dreams a reality. Here are their stories.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Keys to Your First Rental podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Alexander Williams, reporting live from the headquarters of Williams Clayton Realty and the Real Estate Bae Agency. We have a client in the building with us today, all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. She made it back safely. Glory to God. Right. We have Carmen Coulter. Is it Coulter or Coulter? Yeah. It might be French. I don't know. You said what?
Right.
Okay, cool. I would be telling people that. I would be saying Coulter. I would be saying it like that. Like Stephen Colbert. Like that. I would be doing that. So great to have you on the podcast. So great to meet you in person.
Yes, awesome. I'm so excited. I couldn't wait to meet you guys. I really couldn't wait. Man. No, yeah, I was scared to come because of going alone. So I'm glad I did not let fear take over, and God took care of everything.
Come on now. He does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. All right.
Amen.
And yes, I'm glad that you came, and you definitely brightened up. You brightened up the space. And so a lot of times we love when clients come because one, we know that it's a new experience for them meeting us in person, seeing how our team moves, but also when they're nearby other people who are thinking about joining, then they kind of say, they're like, you look calm. You don't look nervous about being in the midst of an investment. And it's like, no, I don't. And so it's almost like having one step in the pool, so to speak, right? And they're like, well, I got both feet out. What you think? You're like, well, I'm stepping in, So real quick, so how did you first hear about us? Was it the internet? Was it through a friend, or how did you first hear about the Real Estate Bae Agency?
So believe it or not, it wasn't even real estate. It wasn't real estate related. I saw you and Gabby's interview. You guys probably know you're famous for that. Your interview with Ezekiel. So I was watching your interview. And then prior to that, I had kind of took some labs with another group called Women's Real Estate Investment Network. I believe that was the name of it. I had taken a lab with them probably during the pandemic, right? Did something crazy, didn't pray about it. Just kind of jumped into it, took a whole loan out and tried to get involved, not having any skills that I needed. They were practically letting you know in the contract you had to take more classes. It was in
Mm,
small writing. So when I realized most of the people that were successful in it, they'd already been doing it already and they knew what they were
okay.
doing. So I got involved. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Something told me to pump my brakes. And the Lord was like, give that loan back. You are not ready for this.
Mm,
So you don't know what you're doing. So I got out of it, saw you guys' interview, and I remember hearing you guys mention a real estate company. At the time, I wasn't thinking about that. I was focused on other stuff for family, friends, and loved ones dealing with the interview, right? And then I came across Gabby. I don't know if I had followed you guys immediately after I saw your interview, but
mhm.
I saw Gabby talking about her lab for like, I think 30 days. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't back in March.
Okay.
And so but here's the kicker though. When I saw her advertise that on Instagram, I saw her when I heard her say, I need the people who make six figures and all that. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, this is not for me. For me to even take this class, I'm wasting her time.
Mm,
She is not going to even think about me. And I remember messaging her on like one of her posts, right? And she didn't get a chance to respond to it. Like I didn't take it personal. I was like, okay, she's probably busy. She's not gonna look at my little post. Hey, do you have to have six figures to take this lab or be a part of this? And she never got a chance to respond. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this.
mm,
I'm not gonna waste these people's time. Like, I'm not in that realm. I'm not on that level. I don't have that type of money. And then something said, I don't know, I think it was another video she posted. I can't remember what she said. Um, it was something encouraging, like, don't let the amount of money or the criteria that I'm listing,
mm.
discourage you. I want you to still take it anyway. I was like, okay, I'll still take it, but I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Those were my exact words. I'm gonna take the lab, but
Come
I'm not
on.
gonna do anything. Yeah, I'm just gonna take it and learn some stuff, take some notes, and we'll think about it. Little did I know, Brandon.
That's the mustard seed right there. I'm gonna just take the course.
Right. It's
Mm,
something in me said, take the course. The Lord was like, just take the course. And after the first day, I was just like, wow, okay. She
mm,
listed criteria. And when she was given the different criterias of like where you qualify to even, be able to be a real estate investor, I was like, okay, maybe I actually fit in here some way. Okay. Well,
mhm,
the more she talked, the more she was giving, explaining the different criteria you're in and that you shouldn't get discouraged. And when she was talking about the different testimonies of
mm.
people who thought they couldn't do it, I was like, okay, maybe this is gonna work. I was like, so I'm not gonna lie. First thing I said was, all right, Lord, I'm gonna finish the lab. And I remember being at work, and I thought that at one point, okay, I'm at work, I'm not gonna be able to catch up. And I wasn't able to keep up. I had to actually do the replays most of the time
Mhm.
because I was at work during the day. And I was like, oh, she's gonna think that I'm not involved. She's gonna think that I'm not, engaged or interested because I'm not actually involved during the daytime. I had to do the replays.
Mhm.
I just thought she was gonna think, "Oh, she's not interested. Imma give up on her." And there were so many things going through my mind, and
Oh,
that's another problem I have. The Lord, had to get to me on that because I'm always thinking I'm gonna annoy people or get on someone's nerves or not
mhm.
do enough. And so I was like, "Okay, she's probably gonna think I'm not serious." So I was always trying to catch up, and I know how she is about wanting to be engaged in the video, right, during the
Yeah.
live and answer the questions. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to do that." And then sometimes I'd be listening at work, and I'm trying to work at the same time. I just didn't wanna miss anything. So I was
Mhm.
like, "Listen, if I have to just stay, listening, I'll do that." So I completed I think I completed before I even completed, I was already en route and, like, getting started. So
Mhm.
I was just really surprised. I mean, I went from seeing you guys on a podcast about something totally different, happened to mention you guys talk about real estate, came across her on Instagram,
Mm.
and I don't know, during your interview, I was just like, "I trust this woman. I trust both of
Wow.
them." I'm not gonna lie, I was like, there was something about you 2. I was like, when I heard the real estate investing thing, I was like, "Oh, they got a real estate investing company. Oh, I would trust them on that." And then
Mhm.
I didn't even think about it after that. But when I came across her on Instagram again, I was like, "Oh, I got to do this."
Wow.
I was like, "I can't wait." I was like, "I hope I qualify because I really wanted to, like, work with you guys, you
Mhm.
know? I trusted you instantly just from watching your interview, it was your spirit. I knew she had the Holy Spirit. I knew you guys were followers of Christ,
Mhm.
and, I just remembered all that during the interview. I was like, "Gosh, I'd wanna be friends with these people," you know?
Oh.
So
To God be the glory, man. Listen, the
yes.
Lord is so good. He's blessed us so much. I know Gabby shares it quite often, but when we bought our first property. Like we were on food stamps for a little bit. And
Wow.
so it's like, but faith, right? Faith
Yeah.
without works, faith with the action. It's
Mhm.
like this is what's to be done. I remember because men, we can be prideful. And so I remember her telling me, like, hey baby, you should look into seeing if you get unemployment. And I'm
Mhm.
like, well, because I used to work at the University of Iowa. I
Oh,
taught the
okay.
School of Music.
Mhm.
They created a position for me, but it was a fellowship. So I'm like, well, this was a fellowship. It's not like I was working 10 years and I got laid off out the blue.
Right.
I'm qualified for it, right? So similar to,
Mhm.
having that in my mind. And so by the time I looked into it, I found out that I think it might have been like 30 days until it
Mhm.
expired, the eligibility to have unemployment. And so that coasted us for months. And when I signed up, when I got hired at the university, I was given you have to choose because they say, "Oh, it's a package. Choose this or
Yeah.
that." Right? And
Right.
so the this or that was like, "What type of pension do you want?"
Mhm.
Like, pension? I'm not gonna be here for a long time. They're like, "Well, you gotta pick a package. It's part of your thing."
Right. Right.
And so, the university gave contributions.
Mhm.
When I left, I'm like, let me get that." And they
Mhm.
try to discourage you. Well, no, you could just keep it. It'll just be an account you don't know about. I said,
Right.
no, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna do something with it. And they were like, well, if you do, it's an early pay penalty of whatever percent. And I'm like, I can't miss what I never had. So
Right.
go ahead,
Right.
deduct whatever you need to. And that ended
Right.
up being the money that we used to buy our first rental. And so,
Wow.
but yeah, so I'm thankful, like, just to see. So I mentioned all this to say that, like, how the Lord has grown our business. I just look back and it seems like a flash, right? Like we were
Yeah.
just in the NICU with Kojo,
Mhm.
and now Kojo's like walking around. He's gonna be
Mhm.
7 in September, And so I'm just grateful and just overjoyed. But I'm glad that we were able to help you and pour
Yeah.
into and everything. And so like the Lord is good. Quick question. So what's the most valuable lesson that you learned during this investment process so far?
Oh, wow. Say that one more time?
Most valuable. So the MVP, like what's the most valuable lesson that you've learned during this transaction?
During the process. Wow. Oh my goodness. There's so many things, I think. Um, ooh, I don't know where to start with that. I mean, definitely don't let the devil convince you that you can't do it because I'm not gonna lie, from the very beginning of the process, even after I was, after she listed the criteria and I realized that I was ready to move forward,
Mhm.
the enemy was just like, "What do you think you're doing?"
Mm,
Like, um, "You're not in a position to, handle this, you're not educated enough for this, you haven't taken enough classes.
mm,
How do you know that this stuff is not gonna work out?" Um, and it was never a trust issue with you. It was just them. It was the enemy making it seem like I was gonna make a mistake, even though I knew over and over again,
mm,
you guys were gonna do everything for me. But what if this? What if that? It
mm,
told me, I don't know. My lesson was you gave this to God. Pray about it. You prayed about it. You gave it to God already.
mhm.
I remember saying to God, I was like, Lord, if this is not for me, if this is not the right time, don't allow this to work out.
Wow.
Simple as that. I did that. That's exactly what I said. So I said, okay, Lord, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move forward with this. So,
Mhm,
and when I moved forward with it, it seemed like when I thought something wasn't gonna go right, and even though there was like a little bit of a hiccup with my credit union,
mhm,
my credit union wasn't giving me all the access to my home equity, right?
okay.
I'm not gonna lie, right then and there, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And yeah, the enemy kept saying this is not gonna work. But then Alina was like, no, but we can try to work you out with one of our people. And then I thought that was gonna be complicated. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know. There was some discouragement there, like, oh gosh, I gotta go
Mhm.
through another process of another home equity. Like it just seemed like too much work
Yeah.
to okay, now I gotta close this out and go with another one. Or like this is gonna be too much, this may not work. It was just listen to God. What did he say? You gave it to him already. It's
Mm,
working out smooth. This is just another option. Don't think of it as, this is not gonna work out.
yeah.
I mean, that was probably my biggest lesson. Focus on what God said. If he's allowing this to happen, let it happen. Stop thinking that it's gonna be a perfect process.
Mm,
There we go. It's not gonna be a perfect process all the
okay.
time. It doesn't mean that it's not gonna work out for you. That was my biggest lesson
Got you.
because
Okay.
that little thing slowed things up for me. Yeah.
Mm, okay. No, that's good. It's not gonna. Hold on, wait for this siren to go by.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. We're gonna keep it in the podcast. It gives character. It lets people know that we stay where emergency vehicles care about. So they'll come here. That's what it means. We're gonna call it that.
Right.
Reporting live from Midtown St. Louis. So let me see. So let me see. So let me ask you this. I
Mhm.
always like to brag on our due diligence process. How
Mhm.
did you feel when you got like the inspection video of the sewer scope and you got the 40-page inspection report from our inspector?
Woo, it freaked me out because like the first thing I thought was, oh wow, there's so much wrong with it. Oh my gosh, am I gonna have to
Mhm.
pay more than I thought? It was scary. It
Okay.
was. And I mean, I read everything detailed, like, oh my gosh. So this there's something wrong with this. Is there more wrong than we thought it was gonna be? It was a lot going through my head. It kind of freaked
Mhm.
me out a little bit. Yeah, it kind of made me nervous.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It made me
But
nervous.
so then once we talked about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I asked because usually I remember when on our action hour call, always let people know like, hey, we have we got a building inspector who's like super thorough as far as
Right.
like, hey, if there's something wrong with the house, he's gonna find out what it is. But I
Right.
also do understand how it could be overwhelming because it's like, hey, is this law, right? Is this every
Right.
single thing has to be fixed? And that's the good and the bad of it, right? It's like the
Yeah.
bad part is that it can't startle you. The good part is that it's like, oh, well, no, like these are things that he notices, but you
Right.
have codes, right? So you have codes that sit within the municipality, and then you have St. Louis County codes. And it's
Mhm.
like, well, the code means livable and safe. So that's
Mhm.
why we always negotiate a past occupancy inspection. So past occupancy is, oh, it's already deemed livable and safe. So these are
Okay.
extra things, and that's why we kind of cherry pick from it and say, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, you got to fix the sewer. Oh yeah, you
Mhm.
got to fix the roof." And
Mhm.
so, and your roof is done. How about that? Like and,
Praise
and
God,
it's like
yeah.
who's ever heard of a transaction where I buy a new house and then they pay for my roof to get fixed as a part of the credit?
That's not a favor. That's all I could think of. I was like, "Wow. Wow." I didn't expect that. I
Yeah.
honestly didn't. Wow.
No, I'm excited, man, because it's as I've become a realtor and learn these different options, right? It's almost like
Mhm.
moves. Like if this is a video game, it's like, oh, this is a new move I learned. And so it's like because we are investor realtors, right? And for all those out there listening, every realtor is not investor minded. They may not even be investors. So when it comes to different options that you can use, like prime example, if you've ever purchased a home, the contract
Mhm.
that you signed is called a residential sale contract.
Right.
The type of house that you purchased was called a special sale contract. So special
Mhm.
sale could be for land, right? It
Mhm.
could be for an investment property, but it doesn't follow the same set of rules, which is why some of the due diligence it isn't baked in. But we
Okay.
have that a la carte, right? So when you have a residential one, your bank, that's paying for the house, there's certain stuff that we did, the bank is going to do for you. And so,
Okay.
but when you learn these things, you learn, okay, this is how I strategize this, as opposed
Mhm.
to, oh, we found that the roof is messed up. And then the seller's like, I'm not going to fix that. If the seller say we're not going to fix it or give a credit, we walk from the deal.
Wow. And
Like,
that was
oh, yeah.
and that kinda made me nervous too. Like, not nervous, but, like, when you said, if they don't, agree to doing this, you can walk away from it. I was like, "Oh my gosh, no." I was kinda like I was so happy, but then I realized, like, no, but they know what they're doing. They're not gonna steer you the wrong way. They're
Mhm.
if it's not right for you, they are going to find something else for you, and maybe even better.
Yeah.
So, it was kinda like, "Oh my gosh, really? After we
Mhm.
got this far?" You know?
Yeah.
But I learned so much though with that
Mm.
though. And I mean, it definitely helped me to understand that, the inspection is for you to see the potential things that need to be fixed and the things that need to be fixed, and it's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, there you go. Come on, nothing to fear but fear yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, so no, it's I like I said, I truly love this process and I love that we're doing things by the book and I love that we're, doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Integrity is one of our core values. And so we really
Right.
stand on that. And
Mhm.
if it's not right, like we're not doing it. And I always tell people this, like when it comes to doing the right thing, when it comes to trying to be blameless and upright, like live and follow Christ, what I realize is that it affects the world in such a great way because it's like
Yeah.
nepotism, right? Imagine you have a daughter and you're like, you run a photography business and you're like, well, let's use something different. You run a construction business and you're like, my daughter gets the job. And they're like, but your daughter has no training. My daughter gets the
Mm,
job.
mhm. Mhm.
Well, that's not fair. Start your own business because I said so. So now your
Mhm.
word has weight. And so
Yeah.
I think the enemy tries to trick us into believing that our words don't have weight. So when you
Right.
choose to do the right thing, it does. Your
Mhm.
action gives weight to your words,
Mhm.
right? It anchors it. It says, well, what did she do? Well, she didn't move. Well, there you go. That's your answer. You can't move me. It's like I don't have to yell, I don't have to bark. I simply say, I'm not doing this. Or I
Right.
say, I am gonna do that. I say
Mhm.
we are gonna walk from the deal. And ultimately, here's another thing that maybe some people don't know. When we're negotiating, I'm not talking to the seller, I'm talking to the seller's agent.
Oh,
So it's still kind of like playing a game of telephone. I still have to bank on
right.
them giving the information back correctly. So even with that, there's a strategy. There are some things that we learn in real estate school that legally, if you do, they have to present to their seller.
Okay,
That's why
okay.
sometimes, people, you may hear the term verbal offer. People try to give verbals. Oh, verbally, we're just saying, and it's like I don't do verbals. We write them up.
Right, right.
So that because there's a difference between I know that and the Lord gives me this like superpower to like look at other people's perspective. So like
Mhm,
I know that as a realtor, if I'm in the seat of a realtor telling my seller, right,
mm, mhm.
how many offers? And he said, hey Brandon, how many offers we got? Well, we got 4 verbals, we got 1 written. What he gonna say? Let me see the written. The verbals don't count.
Right,
A bird
exactly.
in the hand's worth two in the bush, right? It's like this isn't real to me. It's hearsay. It could be a lie as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? And so it's
Mm,
like, imagine me following up on a verbal. Yeah. So remember you said, yeah, but it's not written. So that's why whenever we do make offers, we usually get them because I'll say, hey, fill out this offer. And then when I
right,
tell them, I say, here's the offer, here's the proof of funds.
right.
This is how many days we would like to close in. So that when he
Mhm,
takes it back to the seller, he's like,
mhm.
we got a written one.
Right,
Well,
right.
I got a verbal, but it's over asking. What do you think? And then they're like, well, can I take that to the bank? No, I can't. This one I can. So
Right.
let's work with this one right here. And then the other cool thing is that realtors usually work with us in conjunction. So a realtor might be like,
Mhm.
I can't tell you, like they can tell you they got offers in hand, but they can't tell you how much. So they'd be like, well, the house is listed for 130. Our offer is 135. And then he's like, well, we got an offer in hand that's comparable.
Mhm.
Like they'll say that, they'll kind of hint, or they'll be
Mhm.
like, we got way over asking. Like, yeah, so what if we came up to 150? Wouldn't scratch the surface. All right,
Mhm.
you have a good day. We're not gonna turn in this offer, And then that saves time sometimes. Because
Right.
once in a blue moon, you get somebody who's like, I love this house. It reminds me of my grandma's house. I'm gonna pay you double or triple.
Oh,
And that happens like once in a blue moon. So
right.
so back to your experience and process. So like um if you could describe, what would you tell another investor who's considering working with the real estate bay agency? What would you tell them? If you
To
had a
encourage
sister or a
them.
best friend, what would you
I've
tell?
already been talking to people already.
Come on.
So what I one of the main things I've been saying so far, and even when I was at the real estate bay this past, last week, when people were coming up to me and asking me like what the process has been like for me. And one of the main thing I tell them, I was like, well, how would you feel knowing, you will get the property that you want and not have to do the work, knowing that they're going to do everything perfectly right for you. Like, how would you feel about that?
Mm,
And they were like, that'd be perfect. It was like, literally, you don't have to do any work except follow the instructions that they tell you to do. And that's what I've been saying to most of my friends since I've gotten back. And then
mm,
people at the event, I didn't have to really explain it because they were there. But a lot of my friends, my family, I'm like, how would you feel? Because the main thing that you have to realize is that most people who are doing real estate investing, they have to do it on their own. You hear a lot of unsuccessful stories, but it's
mm,
because they don't, there are gaps that are missing. They miss stuff and they probably have every intention of doing things right. They're not to say that there aren't people who do it successfully on their own, but a lot of the horror stories are because they miss things. They don't know that there are certain steps they have to take, license,
Come on.
all that stuff. So I mentioned
Permits. Yeah.
stuff. What was that?
Permits.
Yeah,
It's like,
permits,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mentioned that to my friends. I was like, if you knew that somebody was gonna make sure all those steps were right for you, would you go through with their real estate investing as long as you fell under the certain criteria? And I was like, and they were like, yeah. I was like, well, then you're ready, and I mean, and I did, explain to them some of the criteria, like how I was able to, fit into the criteria and everything. And they were like, okay. I was like, "So what are you waiting on?" And they're like, "I'm not sure. I feel like I'd have to get some things in a r get some of my ducks in a row." I was like,
Mm,
"Same way too."
yeah,
But, if you have home equity, if you have a 401k, an annuity, any type of cash flow, at least 50,000, you're
yeah.
ready.
Come
And
on.
so when I said that to them, they were like, "Okay, so it's that easy?" I was like, "It really is." You know?
Mm,
Yes, there's a lot of steps to it, but they walk you through everything, and I was honest with them. Yeah, I felt at times like I was asking dumb questions. I feel like I'm aggravating them. I'm like, "Brandon, Gabby, is this right? Is this right?" And I made sure to let them know. I was like, "But they never make you feel silly. They don't make you feel stupid at all. They just answer your questions. They'll hop on a call with you. They make the processes very easy despite how busy they are. So I mean, that was probably one of the main things I said so far. I mean, I said it to my mom. I try to talk her into it and some of my
come on.
best friends. And then
Spread
I
the
had a
wealth.
yeah, exactly. I was like, this is what I've been wanting to do for years and something I thought I could never do. I
Mm,
always thought that real estate investing was for married couples. And then of course I thought, like I said, it had to be six figures. Yeah, there were so many things that I thought, oh yeah, I'm not qualified. But
okay.
that was the main thing I've been, pointing out to them.
Well, that's good. We're gonna have to get you on the sales team. That's the first.
Okay.
That's the
I,
first thing that's gonna have to happen. I see.
another stream of income. I don't mind. I'm
Hey,
just
hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I can't wait to send Gabby this before we publish it. So let me ask you this. So you got to do tour some of the houses while you were here, but
mhm,
also, you went through the purchasing process. With the houses that you saw, how were
mhm.
they comparable to your market in Charlotte as far as price wise?
I have no. You know what? There's no comparison. I never heard of a house. First of all, not even under 100,000 hardly.
Mm.
It's none, none.
So what's the
I
market
mean,
like there? Like what's like the like a house like the one you bought? How much would that cost in Charlotte?
let me think of what mine is, because honestly, I think I don't 180,000
Mm.
or
Okay.
more, 3 bedroom, and then the basement. That's what I think it would run.
Yeah.
And I mean, I might be way off, but to me, I have never seen anything like that. The price that I got mine, that's for sure. 180,000 or more.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
and then tell the people how much did you get yours for? How much was yours for?
Was it 125,000?
Let me see. I believe it was. Let me pull it up.
I forgot.
Let's go. Let me look at deals
Isn't it
closed.
20 something? Yeah.
127.5.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
got to count the $10,000 credit because of the roof. So
Bring
you're
that
really
down.
looking at 117.5,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
plus the
Can't
past
find that
occupancy.
here. Nothing like that here. Never.
Mm, come on.
No. Yeah,
Yes.
the market there after being with you guys for that over the weekend. I mean, I don't think there's any state in the United States that I know of.
Mm.
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah. No, listen, man, we're very happy that the Lord's blessed us with this market and the Lord will put you where you need to be sometimes. And
Yes.
sometimes people move to a city they're not familiar with, and they just like, oh, I just miss home. And one thing I want to drop on you, and also like to the listeners here, what just hit me the other day is, we do a men's Bible study on Saturdays called the
Mhm.
Fathers Union, and
Mhm.
one of the things that one of the brothers brought up, he said, you know what I realized? He said, when the Lord spoke, it wasn't to communicate, it was only to create.
Mm. Mm.
That's why death and life were in the power of the tongue. And I said,
Mhm.
"Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That kind of shook me up." And I was like, but in a good way, right? And I was like, "Oh, so when we say out loud, oh, I'm
Mhm.
just venting." Like, I think a lot
Mm.
of excuses come from the enemy for sure. He's just like, "Tell him you're just venting, then you can say it." Right? It's like any other circumstance, you can't say it, right? "Oh, I'm
Right.
not tell him you were upset at that time, so then you could say it. Then it
Mhm.
washes it away, right?" It's like,
Mhm.
"No, no, no, you still said it." But when we say things like, "I don't think that I can," it creates
Mm.
this world that's
Mm.
real. It
Mm.
creates that. And God forbid our children hear us say that. Then the child is
Mm.
like, they accept it as a fact, just like that wall is gray. What it goes
Right.
up must come down. They're like, oh, gravity, got you. You can't do it. Understood. They don't have an
Mhm.
opinion on it for real, right? Because their brains aren't fully developed until they're 25. So That's why during development stages, it's important that no, you can't say that word. And it's a
Right.
deep meaning. Sometimes you can't comprehend why. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You
Right.
can't comprehend why you can't say it. It's just no for
Right.
me. All you need to know is no right now.
Right.
When you get older, right? I'll tell you when
Right.
you're older. So let me see. What's your next investing goal? Let's say 12 months
Mm.
from now, what do you want your portfolio to look like?
So for right now, I definitely want to try to do at least one property a year or sooner than that, honestly. I know that I'm definitely gonna get another property around this time next year, for sure.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
I still don't know the number that the Lord wants to give me, but I told him, listen, I'm gonna keep going until you tell me to stop. I
Mm,
mean, I
I
would
got
love to
you.
do sooner than wait, do more than one a year, but I'm just
Okay.
starting with that for right now because I don't know how it looks with my annuity and all that. I just know that I have
Mhm.
the ability to definitely do one a year at least. So
Okay.
I'm
I
already
like
thinking
that.
about next year. Yeah, I'm already
No,
thinking
that's
about
good. Listen, we have to think about next year because it prepares us. I'm gonna read you something that um I posted not too long ago, but
it.
the Lord put it on my heart and gave it to me about like preparation, right?
Mhm.
And so I'm gonna read this and then we're gonna kind of conclude the
Okay.
episode. But I say getting ready takes more time than you think.
Mhm.
We hear about the harvest, very few prepare for it because planting seeds feels small, simple, quick. So people assume harvesting must be easy too. Harvesting requires work to pluck the
Mm,
fruit, dig up the sweet potatoes, carry it all in, rinsing it off, storing it properly, retilling the soil, protecting what was produced. That kind of stewardship takes time, patience, tender love, and care. It
mhm.
requires you to prepare, to set apart ahead of time, the
Mm,
plan, to pray, to get out of God's way, because
mm.
preparation is faith in action.
Ooh,
Goal without a date is just a wish. All
mm,
want more. Very few decide when they are going to move.
ooh,
Theory sounds great. Theory sounds great until practice enters the chat. In practice is where all the case study material is mined, where the lessons come from, the mistakes, the pivots, the wisdom, the testimony, the proof. Nobody becomes experienced by only thinking about the harvest. You're in
mm,
that field. You don't wait for precipitation to build and place the rain barrel. You place it
mhm.
in advance, make room before the overflow arrives. Your actions say, I know it's coming, Lord. Thank you in advance. That is faith in action, the kind that prepares early and moves intentionally, builds before the evidence appears. Because faith doesn't just pray for harvest, faith prepares to carry it.
Mm. Whew. Wow, wow.
It's the difference. I'm gonna keep beating the drum around this analogy. It's the difference between telling your son or daughter, "All right, baby, we getting ready to go," and they say, "Here I come," and
Hmm,
then on another day you say, "All right, we getting ready to go," and then you hear shuffling,
mhm,
and you look, and they're at the door putting on their coat. Zip.
mhm, ready to go.
It makes you say, "Oh, they believe me. I
Mhm,
can see it." I think the Lord sometimes He don't move because He's like, "Oh, I hear you saying, 'Here I come,' but I don't see you
mm,
at the door.
wow. Oof, my God, my God.
I don't
Mm,
see you at the door. As soon as you get to the door, I'm gonna open it,
right,
but you keep talking.
right, right,
Faith without works, right? You keep
right,
talking. I hear the faith. I hear that you believe me. I don't see it.
right, right, right.
It's a scripture. I forget. It says something like your mouths say this, but your feet are far from me, or something like that.
Oh,
I gotta
okay.
find it, but
Yeah.
it's a scripture that talks about action. Um, and it's like, yeah, like the Lord hit me with that. Like, hey, even your
Mm,
children sometimes, and
mhm,
He's our Father, right? So our heavenly Father is like, I want to see you by the door. I want to see how ready you are. He's
mm.
telling me to hurry up. Don't let me know that you're ready. You at the door says, I believe that we're going to go.
Right, 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 right.
Not that you will do it, that you are going to. It's a difference between will and action, you know?
Mhm,
So it's like, oh, we getting ready to. My dad used to tell us, he'd pick us up. If you be outside at 8 o'clock, 8:05, I'm leaving. And a
right.
couple of times he left us. Now it's a lot of us, so we weren't like scared if he
That
did. Like,
time.
you got to walk
No.
home from the YMCA now. You know what I'm saying? Because we lived
Mhm.
up the hill, but he had to do that. He's like, hey, I got to kind of show you what the thing is, because you heard the people talk about like mess around and find out, right? But it's
Mhm.
like if I never do the find out thing, then you
Right.
think I'm playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the opposite side of that, us as followers of Christ, is like, if I have faith, then I gotta show it.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
show it. And then when the Lord meets you on the other side, it makes your faith stronger. You're like,
It does.
how did I ever doubt you?
I know, and
You
for
know?
years, for the past few years, I've been asking the Lord, What can I use? How do I use my gifts and talents for extra streams of income, or what do I do? I've been
Mm,
asking him, what do I do instead of just
mm.
trying something, right? And
Yes.
so
Yeah,
I'm
what do you
like,
want me to do? You know? Yeah.
got these gifts and talents. I sing as well. I'm a singer as well, and I do acting outside of work and stuff. So I'm like,
Come on.
what do you want to do with these things, Lord? I don't want to be in corporate America forever. I don't want to have to depend on it. I'm very grateful for my job. Now, don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
But I'm like, and I'm not leaving anytime soon, but like I want the option, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I know there's other things you want me to do. And I've been saying that to the Lord all year. I'm like, okay, I've been saying the same thing over, but what am I guess he's waiting on me to do something. So I was like, this is gonna have to be my step here, you know? I was like, this is it. And I knew he was telling me, and I mean, even though I was nervous,
Mm.
I kept hearing the enemy, what do you think you're doing? Well,
Come on.
no,
Because
no.
look, the Lord never said do it perfect.
All right, exactly.
He
Wow.
said faithful mustard seed. He said, you ain't got to give me no big old avocado seed.
Right.
Mm-mm,
Right.
not a pumpkin seed, just a mustard, just a mustard. That's it.
Right.
You're willing. You're showing me with your will. I've given you free will. You give your will back to me. Watch this.
Right. Mhm.
Watch me work. You
Watch
know,
me work.
God is so great. So in conclusion, let me see. I'm trying to
Mhm.
throw you a curveball question.
Uh-oh.
Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. Let me see. So lately, I've been using the phraseology for our company as like this is a retirement solution.
Uh-huh.
Um, a lot of times, like I don't do any stock trading. Like I
Right.
dabbled with it through Coinbase and through E-Trade. But the truth of the matter is, like, I don't know those people. And I don't know where my money is going. I don't know
Right.
how it's yielding. And when you have a house, when you have a real asset, right? It's like you didn't lose the 120,000. It's in the house. Like I can
Right.
see it. And if I need it, I'm gonna sell the house and get it, right? But also it's like, thank God it's not listen, if I got some in my account and I got the tap, you ever use the tap to pay? Oh,
Mhm.
the house ain't attached to the tap. Okay. You can't tap with the house. So you ain't gotta worry about your money running away from you, okay?
Right. Right.
It's in
Exactly.
a format that's hard to translate. It isn't, oh, let me just transfer from this account. And so when it comes to like stewardship, it's like having a home, it's a different level of stewardship, because what you guys are practicing and what you're participating in, Miss Carmen, is buy and hold. And so when you buy and hold an asset, you're benefiting from everything that happens in the market that's positive. So
Mhm.
let's say one of the neighborhoods that you purchased in 3, 4 years ago, we were buying houses for like 80 grand.
Mhm.
So we've watched the market go up.
Mhm.
Now that the market just reached a certain level, the houses that we didn't buy, flippers want those now,
Mhm.
because those houses are $30,000 and $40,000 and they need the work. But now the juice is worth the squeeze.
Mhm.
Because if the
Mhm.
market's at 120 and I buy it at 40, I can
Mhm.
put 20 grand in it and it looks like 120.
Right. Right. Because you put work into it.
And
Right.
then if they decide to flip at the top of the market and put like granite countertops and really fancy it out, you
Yeah.
benefit, because if it's more than your house, now the value of your house goes up.
Right. Right. Right.
So you
Okay.
got cash flow on one hand, you got equity in the other hand.
Mhm. Mhm. No, I understand. I get it. I get it. I mean, I definitely get it. Now I see the
Mhm.
value in me. One of the things I'm excited about too, because that's definitely that's the first thing I thought about was retirement for me. And then of course being able to take care of my parents and stuff. And that's why I was like, okay, why stop at one? If we're thinking about retirement plan,
Yeah,
think about the benefit of it. I mean,
come on.
you're not just purchasing a house, you're accumulating income, but you
Mm.
are getting your retirement plan together, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh,
And I
yeah.
mean, and then the whole thing, the whole idea of having something you can fix up and even
Yes.
making it even more valuable, I that excites me.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it's the next thing to decorating a house, even though I'm not doing the work, but literally, that excites me,
I can
you know?
listen. I can't wait until like, a year from now or 2 years from now, whenever you decide, you're like, okay, Brandon, it's time to finish the basement. I can't wait because I've already
Yeah.
found an egress window company, and that's their specialization. That's one of my new favorite pastimes is finding people who are specialists that do
Yeah.
nothing but that one thing for years. Like our sewer scope guy, he's a plumber by trade, but he does sewer scopes. That's his specialization. He's like, yes, I can do the other stuff, but this is all I do. And
Oh,
he saved
okay.
us. I think I shared the story with you. He saved us like 20 grand before because he looks at scope so much. He knows the color of whatever rust is in the pipe, and he can tell, oh, that's rust, that's calcium.
Oh, wow.
And calcium is buildup, and that can be flushed. Rust
Mhm.
is attached to the actual cast iron. But
Okay.
it's like you don't know that if you don't kind of nerd out on this topic and do it nonstop.
Right,
Because you do
right.
one thing, you can go deep. You do multiple
Mhm,
things, you go wide. But you
mhm.
never could get as deep as that other person who says,
Right.
I'm gonna be a writer and I'm not gonna do nothing but write. You're
Mhm,
gonna
mm.
learn different things, different techniques. So I mention this to say that we have a company that's an egress window company, and all they do is
Mhm.
egress windows. So they've gotten it down to a specific price point. I believe it's like 8,700 or 8,900, something like that, where it's
Mhm.
like we come in, we put in the egress window, it's permitted and everything. We're done in a day and a half tops.
Oh, wow.
That's insane. So, like, just for anybody who's listening, egress windows specifically, I'm talking about underground in your basement. You want to build a basement bedroom in Missouri and in most states, if the room is below grade, you have to have an
Uh-huh.
egress window. They have to be able to climb out and get to safety. So
Oh,
if your basement level isn't at a walkout, it isn't
uh-huh.
like on grade to where you can
Yeah.
just walk out of it. You need somebody to build a window that has a pit that goes to like the main, sewer drain, and then the
Uh-huh.
top part climbs out so you can get out of the house safely. So
Oh,
they're gonna pretty much get like a big saw, if you will, that's gonna
yeah.
cut a window shape through the brick of your house, half brick, half up. And they're gonna
Uh-huh.
place it in there. It's gonna be a brand new window. It's gonna be permitted. So then you build a 7 by 8 foot bedroom or 10 by 10 foot bedroom in the basement. And now your asset goes from a 3 bed, 1 bath to a 4 bed, 1 bath.
Yes,
And now what
yes.
happens to the rent is if the rent is 1,400, it jumps to 16, sometimes
Okay.
1650.
Let me ask you this though,
So
with
yeah.
that, with my house, because like when we did look at those houses, that's what gave me the idea. I'm like, wow, look how beautiful it looks down here.
Mhm,
So would it be necessary, with it being a 4-bedroom house after you do that,
mhm.
is another full bath necessary? Or
It's up to
just
you. I think at least a half, yes.
people still live in the house with just 1 bedroom, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
1 bath, full
Right.
bath, and 4 bedrooms?
Yes. So yes and no.
Okay.
It's encouraged. It's
Okay.
best practice to put at least a half in there. So
Another, okay.
it's like, hey, if guests come, you don't want guests in the bathroom, but also people living in, like you say,
Right,
4 different
right,
people living in there. It's like we're fighting over a shower, right? So
right.
yes, it is best to put that in the basement. So what I like to tell folks is like start with the half in the basement, then expand the half to a full, and then do like another bedroom.
Oh, so you can expand it later
Oh
into a
yeah. Yes, it's
oh,
options. You could just build it big enough for a full bath, but just put a toilet and a sink in there.
I see.
So it's a
Oh,
half, and then it's like, oh well, I can cut out this 4 by 4 foot area, standing shower,
yeah.
get it
Oh,
permitted, run the electrical.
so you can take your time, you don't have to do everything at once, basically.
No, you don't. But the juice is worth the squeeze because now you're getting a return on your
Mm,
investment. It's
right.
like, oh, and so most people do it if a tenant moves out. So then it's like I don't have to clunk it, in a clunky manner. Hey, we got to get in, and it's like,
Yeah.
strangers are in
They
my
do
house
like
building
a
things.
so if they do like a 3-year lease, I have to wait till 3 years before I can do any upgrades then basically. I can't do it
Mhm.
while they're in their
No, you
lease.
can, but you have to do it with their permission. So
Oh.
yeah, that's all. It's just clunky. That's all. Because if somebody's like, "Oh, I work third shift," and it's like the
Oh,
contractor's can only get there at a certain time. If I got
got it.
children, I don't know the contractors like that.
I see.
That's all. It's just uncomfortable. That's all.
Okay, okay, I
Listen,
see.
people get creative sometimes. They be like, "Listen, we're gonna pay for a vacation for you and your family. We're gonna
Oh.
fix some stuff. We're gonna fix some stuff, and you come on back." And it's like,
I would love to be in a position to do that. We're claiming that. Yeah,
no,
I'd love
we
to
don't
do
claim that in Jesus' name. Y'all go. Well, we in St. Louis. Go to the Ozarks. Go ahead and go to the Ozarks for a weekend. We're gonna pay all expense paid, and when you get back,
right,
you have another bedroom and a bathroom. And then when that lease is up, all right, now we're gonna go up a little bit,
right. Mhm.
and that's what it is because most leases increase anyway. So
Okay.
listen, it was great chatting with you. This has been the Carmen culture episode. I'm gonna come up with a cool, clever title, probably based off of something you said. But
Okay.
thank you so much for trusting us. Thank you for trusting the Lord, right?
And
Uh, because we're on borrowed time, and so
yes, sir.
we're just happy to be able to serve, and we
Yes.
love grateful clients. We love humble clients, and so, like I said, we appreciate you coming and showing up at the conference, and so we appreciated your presence. You were.
Thank
I'm just
you.
going to speak to that in Jesus' name. You were. I'm going to rebuke the spirit of feeling like an annoyance or anything that may have been planted. We uprooted right now in Jesus' name. You were a
Amen.
light there. You were
Thank
kind.
you.
Even when you that brought
Okay,
joy
see,
to the
you're supposed
space.
to remember that,
Right.
Brandon. You remember that.
No, but that was good because you were okay, right?
You
If you
didn't
were not
record that,
okay,
did you?
then
You
we
didn't
would have,
record
yeah. I'm gonna chop that part out. I'll chop it out. That's my word. Yeah.
that.
But no,
Okay,
we appreciate you coming
thanks.
and you have
I
a
can't
great
wait for
day. All
next
right.
year. I wanna go next year too, yeah.
There it is. Yeah, next year.
Yeah.
Listen, once we set the date, we're gonna put it out. I'm bringing my mother and my aunts. I'm trying to get my whole family down there for real.
Oh,
I'm gonna trick
cool.
them into like a family reunion, but come to the conference.
Oh.
Yeah. All of them. Have my nephews working like security and everything. I can't wait.
Yeah, you have them working now.
For sure. Well, listen, God bless you. You have a great time. And this has been Keys to Your First Rental.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too.
Thank you for joining us here on this episode of Keys to Your First Rental. We hope you found these authentic stories from everyday people valuable and inspiring. If you know you're ready to get the keys to your first rental, we want to meet you. Head to www.workwithbay.com. Complete the quick intake form, and our team will review your details and set you up with next steps. That's it for now. Remember, the keys to your first rental are much closer than you think.